Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 13th week of the semester. All right, so for those of you that have worked hard and got caught up, I appreciate your efforts. If the aftermath of the Hurricane Michael is still keeping you behind, we can still work with that, but I know that most of you, if not all of you, have worked very hard now, and we are back on the schedule that we were originally supposed to be on. This week's going to be a little bit unusual in that you're going to actually read the work from a man who's still alive. Pretty cool concept, huh? Instead of reading the work of some dead person, you're now going to read the work of a man who is still living. Now, he's about 71 years old, but hey, he's still alive. His name is Salman Rushdie, and he's also the first of the authors we're going to read that wasn't really born in England or not born to English parents. So Rudyard Kipling was born in India, but his parents were English, and they were kind of over there as colonizers. Rushdie was born in India to Indian parents while India was still under the control of Britain, which is how we end up reading an Indian author in a British lit course. He is probably most well known for his book Satanic Verses, which it got him a price, a bounty put on his head because he made fun of the Prophet Muhammad in it. And the Muslim world does not appreciate that, and so they took out something called a fatwa, which is basically a hit, worth $1 million, but good luck trying to collect on it if you were to murder Rushdie these days, because most of the guys that took that out on him, this was back in like the 70s or the 80s, they've long since died, so you wouldn't get any money now. But it does cause him to have to be a little bit more careful when he travels in some parts of the world. Now, the two readings I've selected for you this week from Rushdie. First of all, the Indian British writer and Dream England addresses the fact that he's not sure if he's an Indian writer or a British writer. He's got, because when England and Great Britain colonized India, they brought a lot of their culture into it. So his writing, and you're going to see this when you read The Prophet's Hair, mixes the best of both cultures together. So, and of course, he's like, well, I'm a Muslim that eats pork, and, I'm an Indian that speaks English, and so on and so forth. So that struggle for identity, that struggle for national identity that the colonized people feel when a colonizing force comes in, plays out in that little essay of his. And it's not very long, but it does raise the question of, well, is he a British writer? Is he an Indian writer? He's a mixture of both, but how do you reconcile that? So that's what that little essay is about. Now, The Prophet's Hair is a little bit different from what we've read. The prophet that has the strand of hair that we're talking about is the Prophet Muhammad, and it's a strand of hair in a vial that has been preserved for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and it has magical properties. And these magical properties bring ruin upon those that have it illegally, if you will. And so you're going to see that play out in The Prophet's Hair. And I think it's a very entertaining story and one that you're going to enjoy. So this week, Salman Rushdie, the British Indian writer, talking about an identity crisis and how does one reconcile being colonized and taking in the colonizer's culture. And in The Prophet's Hair, it's a fictional story, but it's a very entertaining story, full of magic and full of mystery and full of people getting their comeuppance, if you will. And you'll see what I mean by that when you read it. So I hope you enjoyed this week's readings, and I'll talk to you soon.